Welcome everyone tonight to the Core Racing Network. This is our GT season number 6, coming at you from the Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. Got some LMP2 and GT3 multi-class action coming at you for tonight. These guys will have one fast repair fixed iRacing setup, so 50% fuel and a drive-through after 25x, and then each 10x after that. So it looks like even with the new release of iRacing's rain, we didn't quite get it. There was a 27% chance. So it says 0 according to the forecast for the rest of the thing here. So hopefully, I mean, I'm broadcasting. I'm here for the entertainment. I'm sure y'all are too. I would love to see it. No, the drivers probably don't. But yeah, we can always hope. There is a non-zero chance. So, looking in here real quick, and I'll pull up our points here real quick for everybody while these guys are doing their qualifying. Looks like Parks de la Cruz is in the overall lead in LMP2. We have James Pearson second, 22 points back. In GT3, your overall, Nick Nickerson with your lead. Tim Ponzi only 17 behind him. Mason Smith 43 back there. Parks is leading the Platinum and Gold in LMP2. Ponzi in the Platinum and Gold there. Nickerson still leading the Silver Division pretty handily there. But Kelly, might be able to give him a little bit of a run. You never know. Season finale is double points on a 2-hour special. Silver Division and LMP2s, you have Tyler Kikeko. Thaddeus Marshall is 18 points behind him, so a little bit of a battle going on there. In Bronze, you have Bramble 84 points ahead of Booker, so it looks like Bramble's going to have that Bronze Division locked down pretty well. In GT3, Molyneux and John Crane. Molyneux leading only 4 points over John Crane, so that'll be interesting tonight. Here, and transition there. There we go. Let's see what our provisional polls are looking like here. We've got about 5 minutes of qualifying left. We have James Pierce on provisional pole with a 204.340 in LMP2. GT3 Mason Smith with a 218.2329. So mighty quick there out of Mason. Waiting for Tim Ponzi, I believe, was the leader for the practice session. Looks like he is coming around to set a lap now. Coming through, is that Puan? Yes, that is Puan. Managing to keep that Audi without the little terrible flat spin, slow slide outs that it does to me all the time. So good job there, Tim, on keeping that one under control. All right, let me move the mic a little bit there. Maybe that will work a little bit better there. Okay. Hopefully that's not overdoing it. So let's look in here. Let me find the... Is it? It's the cockpit view that we're looking for as we come through here. Through Blanchimont here. Track map. As you can kind of see, sounds like it was completely flat there. Down the brakes, into the bus stop. A little bit of curb on the right, a little bit here on the left, on the power. And what will he set? Waiting. Ponzi, 3/10 off of Mason. Mason knocking it up to a 218.23. That would have given Ponzi just enough time to get another lap in, but I don't think he's going to make another attempt. Looking here, Thaddeus Marshall still here on track trying to get another lap in. Going into no name there. Oh, looks like he's stopping there. Dave Tilford coming through Blanchimont, coming up to the bus stop here. We'll watch him do this right here. As there we go. On the power of that Ferrari. So looking like Mason has going to take provisional pole here. Dave Tilford good enough for 6th position there. Showing a B coming up to the line here. Let's see what kind of time he sets. I'll be coming up into 8th position there. Just narrowly catching out Craig Potter. Tim Thompson putting in a strong qualifying as well. They're in 7th. So, looking down through here, yeah, you get a little bit of a gap between these top 3 here. But with the Kimmel Straight, you know, it's not too hard to get that big suck and be drawn back to the back of these guys, and especially through Blanchimont. So you're really going to have probably more than that 0.3 of a second to really pull away from the pack. Should be some really good racing tonight here. Looks like we got about another minute or so here before what we call that, the race starts here. So, hide my track map there. And there. Let's see. Looks like I did not time this one quite perfectly. Well, we got about 30 seconds here before they grid up. We'll be right back. There we go. I had to pick somebody who's actually sitting on the grid there. Alright. Well, it looks like James Molyneux is going to miss out. Appears that he may be at Home Depot trying to get that new rig of his set up. So, looks like everything's going good. Not showing any frame drops. Let me check one little thing here real quick on this. Make sure Yep. Should be back to 4K tonight. Hopefully we don't have any issues. But looking here, we have... Let's go through the field here. It looks like we're waiting on James. Judging by where they're gridding up here, this is going to be the short pace lap here. Pulling up our grid, James Pierce taking pole with a 2:04.3. Parks De La Cruz 0.4 back. Then you have Thaddeus Marshall in 3rd. Powell Casket in 4th. Tyler Kokeko in 5th, Tyler Bramble in 6th, and then there we go. Jump too many. You have Mason Smith on pole, Tim Ponzi in 2nd, 0.3 back, Nick Nickerson, Dominique Ford in 4th. Christopher Hamilton in 5th, Dave Tilford in 6th, Tim Thompson in 7th, Abivic Bassam in 8th, Craig Potter in 9th, John Crane in 10th, and AJ Chantry in 11th. So we will get started here watching Parks and James fire off from La Source here. I thought I had a camera in between these two, but we'll watch him come down through into Eau Rouge. All front, James Pierce leading, Parks De La Cruz followed by Thaddeus Marshall. Coming into this one. Won't track map won't be so helpful right now. It'll be a little bit. As you can see, James and Park starting to pull away from the rest of these guys a little bit. We check into the GT3s here, Mason, Dominic Ford, Nick Nickerson, and Tim Ponson here. All in a little pack up here. Then you have Hamilton and Tilford back there, followed up by Aviva Shivasa. Going a crash for Craig Potter here. Something on the pace lap? Not quite sure what's going on with that one. Tim Ponzi going off track here. Just running a little wide there. Back to, so you can see Mason already actually pulling out on almost 1 second gap in that Mercedes AMG with Nick Nickerson all over this guy. Coming up to Blanchimont, I believe, yes. Ponzi going a little wide. Going a crash for Thaddeus Marshall. Let's see what happens here. That's Tyler Kakeko right on his back door. Oh, gets on the brakes a little too hard. Avoids contact there. As I believe, yes, now we have an all 212 LMP2 field, and you can see the similar paint jobs on all of these cars. So, Thaddeus Marshall will have to get around some of these guys here. Checking these guys, Mason, you see. I believe he has almost broken that toe, but not quite. He'll need to try to make up a little bit more into this next session if he doesn't want to be losing a lot on the Kimmel Straight to some of these guys. But Dominique and Mason here, or sorry, Dominique and Nickerson coming around. Looks like Nick has gotten off the back of Dominique a little bit. Decides that maybe pushing right there is not the best. A lot of off tracks here. Showing a little bit of an incident here for Ponzi. What happened here? Track here, just running a little wide out of the source. Ponzi going off track yet again. At this rate, kind of seems like Carl in the number of off tracks Ponzi seems to be racking up here. Let's go back here and you can see Mason, that lead sitting right there at, I would say 8 to 9 tenths. As, hold on, let's see here. Sorry about that. I had to take care of some audio issues on this end. Some bleed over from the house. So it looks like everybody's kind of holding still. Looks like Tyler Kakeko managed to get past Powell Casca there. Alright, so we can kind of see here, you can see on the track map the LMP2 field is already getting spread out a little bit. But back here, you know, this GT3 battle, looks like Thaddeus Marshall is closing in here on the back of Powell Casca. Got that down to half a second. Let's see here. Barry going with Ponzi and GT3. Not looking amazing for Ponzi right now, but you never know. He might be able to pull that one back out. And LMP2, Pierce, yep. I think he got that one unless there's a major mistake. Nickerson setting the fast time that lap for GT3 Class. So let's see if he gets a good run out of La Source here into Eau Rouge. Is that going to be a slowdown? Seems to be maintaining that half a second gap though. Getting a little closer here under braking. Guessing, since I'm not seeing him drop back at this point, you'd have to be serving that. If he did get a slowdown, but it looks like he got away with it. Oh, that was... We have two Mercedes that was messing with me. You got Christopher Hamilton here in the other Mercedes AMG. Check back here, you got Dave Tilford and Tim Ponzi. I don't see any damage. Take a look here. Yeah. Don't see any damage here. Other side. Front splitter and everything appears to be intact as well. I don't see any damage there. I don't see any in the back here, so I'm going to go with Ponzi is alright as far as damage goes. He is all over the back of that Ferrari going through Blanchimont here. Really trying to stick a nose out and look into the bus stop. He thinks about it. See what kind of exit he gets compared to the Ferrari. The new Audi EVO. Mason Smith setting a fast time in GT3 there. Managed to get that gap up to 1.1, almost 1.2. As Nickerson is still holding back there about half a second behind them. Let's see if Ponzi manages to get a good run through here, over the top of Radion. Thaddeus Marshall got around Powell Casca here. Got a good run in the braking zone, it appears. Going in this one. SDK seems to be acting up a little bit, showing a crash though out of Thaddeus Marshall here. Is it going to be like lap one? Yep. too much on the brakes and it goes right around. Those rear tires won't be happy for a little bit. As we see back here, Ponzi and Telford separated by 2 to 3 tenths. Ponzi looks like he's going to have a little bit of a run on David here, but not much you can do in this particular little section here. A good exit's what he needs here for the run down to Blanchimont. And it looks like he's closing. He's going side by side into the bus stop. Overcooks it a little bit, but can he keep? Nice close racing. Nobody's slamming doors on each other. Sitting here for Craig Potter after that first little incident before the race really started. Back to the pit lane. What crap is? It's going slow enough that SDK reported that as a crash. We'll go back live here. These two kind of just hanging right here at each other's back door. Ponzi looking like he has a speed, but just not quite able to get around Tilford here. Let's see if he gets brave and tries to maybe make a move into Pouon. Into Pouon, how about coming out? He's going to take a look, thinks better of it. Maybe just trying to make David drive defensive into that complex to get a better run out. Checking in on Nickerson here. Looks like he is closed up to the back of Dominique Ford. Gotten that down to just under 3 tenths now. As they come into the bus stop, we'll see if anything to make of it. Nope. Now I'm pretty sure there's no fuel strategy available to make a GT3 make it for 45 minutes around this track. So, but he could be trying to save up just enough fuel to catch him in the pit lane. You know, fueling maybe a gallon less of fuel or something. Something to keep an eye on, though. So we'll go back here and watch Ponzi and Dave Tilford here. Seems like the Ferrari just have the legs on the straightaway on that outlet. Which really seems like there's not a whole lot of draft. For Ponzi here. Well, I'd say that. Looks like he's starting to close up that gap. Is David going to go defensive into this corner? No, but Ponzi is right on that back door. According to SDK, we're getting quite a lot of off tracks here tonight, but I know it's not the most accurate when it comes to Spa. It's already showing Parks de la Cruz with 24 off tracks, and I can tell you I don't think Parks has ever had 24 X's in a core event. As this battle here is just it's Ponzi's trying to make some moves, but it seems like David is just driving very nicely. not really giving him any openings to try to make it through. Got a little bit of a battle here between AJ Chantry and John Crane. AJ kind of sticking the nose in, John holding it on the around the outside a little bit there. Merc with a little wiggle out of that rear end. Showing a crash for John here. Let's see what happened. Oh, back in Porsche coming around through Buon. You know, it aptly deserves its name, that corner. It's my least favorite corner on the entire track. In a high downforce car, it's amazing where it'll just grip around, but in these GT3s, not quite enough to make it just flat the way you really want it to be. We'll jump back to live here. Give me a whole lot of sound effects there. As Lindsay got around Dave Tilford, we'll have to watch that one here, see what happened. Into the bus stop, on the brakes, last of the late breakers. David tries for the crossover. Oh, little bump to the back of Ponzi there. Dave, I don't think that's going to help the front end of that Ferrari much, but it looks like he got away relatively cleanly on the front of that car. I think quite a few incidents for Chantry here on and off the track. Oh, well, that is definitely an off track. SDK got that one right. Looks like he cups it off of the wall for the most part, not seeing any real damage there. But he will jump back to the pits here. Check in here with Craig Potter after the previous instances. Let's see. See any damage on that Porsche. I'm not quite sure what's made him go into the pits twice. Being a fixed setup, it's not like he loaded quali and ran out of fuel. As we will check back in here with Dominique Ford and Nick Nickerson, nose to tail here into the bus stop. Is Nick going to try to make it work on the brakes? Just some good clean racing here. Mason able to open that gap out to 2.1 seconds. Not quite far enough to be, you know, in the clear from some kind of pit lane strategy. You know, maybe pick up 2 or 3 seconds here or there. No, showing a crash for James Pierce. Let's see what happened here. Although it also says he entered the pit lane, so it may be where you have to make that little bit of a turn and just registered it as slowing down too much. Everybody got on the brakes there. You need to go all the way down here. And showing a crash for... Okay. So, SDK is bugged with the LMP2s or pretty much anybody coming into the pit. Still on track. Your best battle here is Dominique and Nickerson. Do a little segment here. I'd love to hear it. Turn these guys up. Let's turn those cars back down just a wee little bit as we will grab my TV camera. There we go. Checking in with Tiger Keiko. Up to third position now. About 9 to 10 seconds here behind Parks de la Cruz, who's about 7 seconds behind James Pierce. Powell Casca only 1.5 behind Tyler there. And Thaddeus Marshall 3.5. If we pull up, I believe, the time delta here. Yeah, that's one of the ones I can make bigger. And let's pull. It's not giving me good info here from Marshall. We can do. See Marshall. Looks like he's slowly closing down the gap there. As you can see, Parks has been pulling away from Tyler. Looking at her over the last few laps, dominates the position there. You can see Mason slowly pulling out for the tenths in the last 2 laps there. Showing Nick Nickerson in the pits. Oh, kissing that just a little bit there. So the pit stops for GT3 have ensued. Hard to see. Showing Tim Thompson in the pits as well. Have to see if Nick jacks the car up and takes tires, if it's going to be fuel only. Appears to be fuel only for Nick. Not seeing that car come up at all. It's a very long pit lane time here. As you can see, Nick is just now getting up to the pit exit here, the beginning of the Kemmel Straight. Yeah, that AMG sounds good. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Kelly, nice to see you in the chat. Hate that you missed this one tonight. Let's see here. Dominique coming in, and Mason in, and Hamilton in. So they all did an extra lap compared to Nick, and we'll have to see. Sounded a little funky there, Chris. Hopefully, no slowdown penalty there. Joe's having a little bit of an issue here, possibly for Craig Potter. Just overcooked the corner a little bit. As we can see Mason coming out of the pits here. And see the real thing will be Dominique here, seeing where Nickerson is in relation. When he comes out of the pits. If you look on your little screen there, it is Nickerson, and the number 2 car is now, I believe, on top of the 39 of Bramble. Or right underneath, I guess, since Bramble is technically in front. Mason getting away. Jump over here. See, they are starting to head up the hill. Nick will have all that speed through. Dominique managed to be a little bit too. Let's see who looks like longs. That pit time really is about a minute here, thanks to that long pit lane. But this is definitely, these stops here have opened the field up some. Ponzi managing to be ahead as yes, he has already stopped. He stopped on lap 12, so he managed to jump. Oh, no, he's still behind Hamilton. But looks like he has been closing down that gap. As we have about 15 minutes left here in this race. Got a little bit of a battle going on here between Powell Casket and Tyler Kakeko. Oh, getting a little bit of sniff of air from the back of the 37 machine there. It's really on track. This is the closest battle. Everybody else is kind of spread out by a little bit. Closest other battle here would be Tim Thompson and Abhi Visuvasan back here for 7th and 8th. Looks like Tim might be able to be close enough to get a little bit of draft off of the back of Abhi's Porsche there. As you can see, that time's slowly trickling down. As we will go back to the other battle here on track between these two. Oh! Getting into each other just a little bit there. Go back and see a replay of that real quick. And into the bus stop, they get on the brakes. And you can kind of see, yep, Powell just a little later. And gets into the back. Ooh. Gets into the back pretty hard there. Locks the fronts up. Tyler, nice recovery there. All things considered, that could have gone a lot worse. Starting to see LMP2 second round of pit stops. Looks like Tyler Bramble and Thaddeus Marshall are in the pits. Coming back out for Thad there. Check in here with Tim Ponzi. Last couple laps took 2 seconds out of Hamilton there. That has put Ponzi within 1.7 of Christopher Hamilton. Took 6/10 out on that lap. Ponzi with the fastest lap all race, 2:18.18. A little off track for Hamilton. Yeah, that's maybe why he. Not really too bad. jump over here to watch this battle between Tim Thompson and Abi Vichubasam. So we'll keep an eye on the time between Ponzi and Chris. Tim, then 3/10. It should have a nice draft going down this long straight here. Is Abi going to cover to play the defensive line there? It does not look like he is. Making up a little bit of time there on Tim in the braking zone. As these two are friends and like to sit in the same quiet race room together in our Discord. Tim keeping that gap a little bit under half a second now. Rupu on here. Be opening it up a little bit. On board with Tim Thompson here. Cockpit cam, that's a little better. You don't get that big old thing in the way. But as you can see, the skies are a little bit dark here. And I normally don't like to show the iRacing screen, but I'm going to go ahead and do it here real quick. Let's just make sure we have no precipitation. Nope, nothing. So I do not believe, yeah, SDK hasn't really incorporated the weather just yet, or at least if they have, I'm not aware of it. I imagine that'll take them a couple weeks at least. So it looks like we will finish this race without any rain. With the new skies and the rain is graphically amazing. So looking through here. You can see Tim kind of, oh, there we go. There's some GTP traffic coming through here. James Pierce finally, 36 minutes into the race, starting to really lap some cars. As Abi and Tim here very evenly matched. As let's see. Having to keep checking SDK. I see the motion of my peripheral showing me these multitude of off tracks. Just so y'all can see what I'm going to see here, we are going to replace their car logo real quick with the number of off tracks. So as you can see, if these numbers were to be believed, there would be a whole lot of stop and go penalties, and I'm not seeing them. So SDK just doing SDK things. Does give us a nice pretty overlay for y'all to watch, but it does have its issues. Looks like with the GTP, or not GTP, LMP2 traffic, Abi has managed to open that gap up a little bit here on Tim Thompson while I was talking. And Mason checking out your leader here with a 6.5 second lead over Dominique Ford. Nickerson is at 1.1. Checking in with Ponzi here, managing to get that gap down to 1.3, so Looks like as he started getting closer, Hamilton started putting the hammer down. I'm going to go back to the lap time thing we had here. Jay, you can see lap 15, only 0.06 of a second for Ponzi closing down, but he is slowly but steadily getting there. Oh, Nickerson getting up to the back of Dominic Ford. Nick hauling that gap down very quickly. He will try to make a move down here into the bus stop. There we go. Looks like we have coming down here into La Source. He is going to be all over the back of Dominic Ford here. See if that Porsche can do anything on the long straight against that AMG powerhouse. Closest we have seen Nick here in a little while, almost under that 0.2 window. Into the braking zone at the end of the Camel Straight. Is he going to stick out and try something? Nope. Just glued to the back end of that Mercedes, though. Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, running this close, neck and neck all race. Not going to be easy on these drivers. Nick is still just right there. Tim Thompson, check that battle, 1.3 back. But this one definitely is your closest on the road at the moment. Ponzi about to break through that 1 second mark there. As these two are just going tooth and nail at it all race. Pull this one up here. There we go. You can see how close they are behind. Look at Hamilton here. The last few laps looks like they were in fact closing down on Nickerson. Let's see. No, so you want to take that look, but is going to definitely sit and try to get the best run possible out of La Source. Oh. As you can see, there's your gap between second, third, and fourth and fifth with Ponzi. Ponzi now within that 1 second gap. He will have the draft off the back of that and that big old rear wing it has. As Nickerson a little closer than last time. Is it going to be enough to make that move? Nope, it does not appear to be. Watch this battle between Ponzi and Hamilton. You can see, looks like he's taking about 0.2 out of Chris every lap now. With 2 minutes left to go, it's going to be tight. It will all depend, probably for Tim, on exactly when and where James takes the lead. Oh. Looks like Parks De La Cruz managed to pass James Pierce for P1. I'm guessing done in the pit phase. So James possibly taking tires and Parks not. Let's check in here and see. See James Pierce try. Not much time to run down. 3 seconds. So you're looking here for Nick Nickerson and Dominique Ford. Nick a little further back this time. This is put Ponzi right on the back door of Hamilton. I have to see Parks De La Cruz is now not too far away. But this is going to be the battle here. Are they going to wind up going side by side through a Rouge? No. But that has put Ponzi on the back bumper of Hamilton coming through a Rouge. To see if he makes the move. Nickerson. What we'll do is we'll watch this battle into the braking zone here. Nick deciding that's not the spot. Ponzi kind of looking in, but Chris already knew he was coming, running offline earlier. As that is your winner, Parks De La Cruz, followed by James Pierce. Managed to cut that down to a 2-second gap at the end. James taking the fastest lap of the race with a 2:03.773. Back here. Oh, Ponzi got around Christopher Hamilton. I'm going to have to run that back real quick. See what happened here. But Chris, oh, a little bit of a slide. Ponzi going out and around. As it appears, Nickerson is a little further back off Dominique. He's going to need to be closer coming out of this corner if he wants to get a good run through Blanchimont and try to time it to make a move into the bus stop. Not much time left to make the move. Definitely appears he was not close enough to get the lunge or anything done. Let's check here. Nothing out of Chris. Nothing coming back for Ponzi. Looks like Chris might have some tires or a little bald, maybe. Be Ponzi back into 4th position there after that early mess up. As who else are we waiting for? It's going to be Abiva Shivasam and Tim Thompson. Will be your last ones that cross the line. Tim, I don't think it's going to be close enough to make anything happen here on Audi. 1.5 seconds back. So, at this point, he's going to need a mistake from a B. Error 404, mistake not found. Good drive there, a B. Good drive, Tim. Them crossing the line. That should give me the results to pull up here. Let's run through those real quick. There we go, LMP2. Parks De La Cruz taking your win. James Pierce in 2nd. Tyler Keiko in 3rd. Powell Casca in 4th. Tyler Bramble in 5th. And Thaddeus Marshall in 6th. So, GT3, where we have Mason Smith taking the win, Dominique Ford coming in 2nd, Nick Nickerson in 3rd, Tim Ponzi up to 4th, Christopher Hamilton in 5th, Dave Tilford in 6th, Abiva Shivasam in 7th, Tim Thompson in 8th, John Crane in 9th, and Craig Potter in 10th. And then you scroll a little bit here, and AJ Crantry in 11th. All right, well, let's pull some of these guys in. We'll start with GT3. So we will pull Nick Nickerson in here. Get this set up real quick, and there we go. Nice and quiet for once. All right, so let's find Nick Nickerson is right there. Pull him into the booth. Nick, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going, man?
Oh, going good. Yeah, you and Dominique pretty much running nose to tail all night. Just one of those things where the Merc had a little too much on the straight, not able to catch it.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. I mean, I probably could have passed him at the very end of the straight with the draft, but he would have got me, and we just been back and forth, and would have lost a bunch of time to Chris and Ponzi there. So I just decided just to stay behind him. Yeah, this Porsche really had nothing on the straightaways. I could get him in the braking zones and some of the corners, but I mean, coming right out of the corner, like he was just driving away from me every single time, and it was difficult. Hopefully, it's not the same over there in Interlagos next week. But all in all, I say a successful race. I was able to get a couple points on some key players there for the championship that will end here in a couple weeks. So yeah, man, good race.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you from our other season, I watched the Merc steam past me when I was in the draft, and he had no draft going up the long straight in the Lagos. So I know you like the Porsche, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll live and die by the Porsche. We'll see. You know, that's what sucks about racing leagues in the middle of a new builds. You know, they probably reset the BOPs and start, change them up a little bit, and who knows what you get. If this car could be BOP'd for, some track where it makes sense, where, tracks like this, it wouldn't. But, it is what it is.
well, congratulations anyway. You want to give a shout out to that number 2 machine before we let you go?
Yeah, man, just Carl, all the admins, everybody that participates in these leagues, man. It's a ton of fun. Look forward to next week, and I appreciate doing the broadcast, man.
No problem. Congratulations.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay. All right, that was our second place, Nick Nickerson. We'll pull Dominique Ford second place in here. Dominique, you get a copy.
Hi, how's it going?
So you had Nick on your back bumper all night. That
Yeah.
AMG V8 just kind of keep pulling you away from him, though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. The Porsche is just not that good on the straights, and I'd get on the straights, so I'd pull away, and he'd catch me in the corners a little bit, or at least under braking. He was a little bit better than me in the corners, but I think our pace was right there with each other. Um, but yeah, the Merc is just way too good on the straights at this track.
Yeah, it's season 5. I love the Porsche, but it was. I think in Interlagos, I watched a Mercedes pull me when I was behind a Ferrari in the draft, just right at the outside. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, like what BOP is this?
Yeah. Merc's just too overpowered.
But congratulations tonight. I guess you didn't have anything for Mason though.
No, Mason, he was too quick. At the beginning, I was staying within the draft, I was seeing what I could do, maybe, but eventually I was like, you know what, I'll let Mason win his race. If he makes a mistake, maybe I can capitalize and I'll just try and keep Nick behind me.
Well, congratulations. Good drive tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 91 machine?
Like always, thanks to you on the broadcast. I'm always excited to go back and watch the broadcast, even if I'm not in the race. I always go back and watch and see how the race went. So I'm excited to go back and watch this one because that 3 wide start was amazing.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but like thanks to Nick, we had some conversations in the chat, when I was, making decisions and seeing if he wanted to get in front of me, and then we made our decide up and decided, to keep it how it was, and it was a great race overall, and the rest of the field drives really clean.
Well, there should be plenty of both of y'all on the broadcast. Y'all were the closest for the longest amount of time.
I bet it was fun.
Well, congratulations, and we will hopefully catch you next week in Interlagos.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be there. Have a good night.
You too. All right, and let's pull our race winner, Mason. Mason, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
So, seems like you were on just a little bit of a different playing field to everybody tonight. Slowly just kept pulling that gap out a couple tenths at a time.
Yeah, that was pretty much the summary of the race that you described there. Is, you know, like like I said, like last week I was doing a lot of testing, and then, you know, something just clicked with the Ferrari, and I think I made a really good car decision tonight, and I got the points what I needed to by qualifying on the pole and stuff and getting the win. So I'm really, really happy for that. Um, but yeah, I just kept it clean and got got what I needed to be done for next week.
So you're enjoying the ability to qualify compared to previous seasons?
Uh, yeah, I do. That was good. I felt good about it, definitely. And you know, um, it's a really hard fought championship, with Nick being back and then Ponzi on the rise. He's gone better, and I just need to keep in my toes and just you know, get those bonus points and take back the championship.
Yeah, I think it was. You aren't too far away. It was only 26 points going into tonight, so I'm sure David will have the points up here pretty soon for you. But
Yeah, yeah.
congratulations on the win. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 6 machine?
Oh, well, of course, to the family that always watches me, and to you and the broadcast, and to the competitors out there, having a stable number of drivers out there. I just it's a really fun series. I can't comprehend how fun it is to run GTs, LMPs like every Thursday as a league, and everyone just has a good time.
Well, we appreciate it, and you putting on a great show for us tonight. So we will catch you next week at Interlagos, hopefully.
And catch you next week.
So that will be that. Let's not back. I can do this, and then I can do this and that. And we will pull in Tyler Kakeko. Where is he? Tyler, this is John in the booth. You got a copy.
I hear you.
So from no practice to being the slowest in practice to managing to pull a third out of your rear end. You want to walk us through that one?
So, start of the night, I mean, I was at work. I got home early and I went, oh crap, I can race. I managed 6 laps, went, man, I'm slow. And I didn't get any incident points until I got rear ended by Powell. And
Yeah,
then
we got that one on the broadcast.
I got 2 more after that from silly off tracks. But I just figured that if I could get within, half a second of their quality times and practice times and just kind of hit that consistently, I could do okay. I honestly don't understand how I got P3, but I'm not gonna complain.
Well, tonight will definitely help you for the silver division. You had an 18-point lead over Thad going into it, and that'll definitely help a little bit.
Yeah. I know I said I would miss this week and then the week after, or I'd be there for Sebring, but who knows next week now?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even if you don't, if you lose 30 points, that's still,
Oh,
after that, it's
the
going to be
website. Yeah, the website updated. I'm 29 points ahead of Thad now.
okay. Well, that could be just enough. Might want
Hopefully.
to borrow a laptop and sign in and drive a few laps. And
We got laptops at work. I have to keyboard it. I'd have to keyboard it though, but
that worked for me back in the original NASCAR racing. I mean, it's essentially the same software. I don't see why it wouldn't work again.
sounds like a plan to me.
Well, again, congratulations. Anyone you give a shout out to that number 37 machine?
Yeah, give a shout out to you in the booth. Always put on a great broadcast. Carl and the rest of the guys at Core that put this series on. Give a shout out to Powell. He kept me honest all race. It was definitely very difficult, and he was catching me for a lot of it. And then, like always, Cody Jacobs. He probably won't watch this race tonight because he thinks I'm at work. But
Well,
shout
he'll
out
watch it
anyways.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna message him now.
You know, he might still be on his victory tour. You never know. But again, congratulations on tonight, and you know, maybe we'll catch you next weekend in Interlagos.
I hope so. Try to get these planes out quick.
Well, again, congratulations, and see you later.
See ya.
All right, so we will pull our second place, Mr. James Pearson, to the booth. James, you get a copy.
Hello.
So SDK didn't exactly show me what was going on, other than a late pit on your part. How did Parks get past you there?
Just didn't have enough fuel for the next lap. Didn't get the couldn't hear the call to pit, so had to coast the whole lap out.
Ah, okay. Because it only showed you taking 2 pits, so
Yeah, didn't pit on the right lap and only had half a lap of fuel, so.
oof, yeah, that one's always going to be painful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's see. So that's going to give Parks a few points ahead of you, but
The championship's over for him. I already congratulated him.
well, Sebring's double points.
It is double points, but I can only gain 10, so it's
Even if he no finishes?
if he it's Parks.
Sure, it is Parks.
It is Parks, so yeah.
Mr. Consistency. I think
he's got it locked up.
We might have to change his name to the Professor.
Yeah. It could work out if the rule, I didn't realize that the old rules are still the ones inside the Discord. So saw that points for qualifying was 5, but it's actually 3 this season. Didn't know that one, so I won't be able to get any points on him enough to tie it. Because if there was 5 points for the qualifying, then I'd be able to tie it, and that would give me the win for the season. But since it's only 3 for qualifying,
I mean,
not possible.
You can always pray to the internet gods for an outage here or there.
We're not racing Tyler.
True.
We're not racing against Tyler, so no. And plus, the internet gods have not blessed me this week or this year, so.
Yeah, you missed. What was it, last week? For that? Yeah.
Missed Motegi, or not Motegi, Canadian Tire, and then the incident in Mugello really hurt me too. So.
Well, congratulations, and we will hopefully catch you next week.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
Okay. All right, we're going to pull our race winner. This will be Parks Dela Cruz. Parks, you get a copy.
Hello, John.
Hey, so managed to pull a nice little win there out.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Hey, other people's misfortunes, hey, you finish the line first. That's what matters, right?
Yeah, I guess. I guess. It's I don't know. It's just super lame to win like that. Like literally James 4/10 quicker than me per lap, at least. So, yeah, can't say I deserve that, but
But you have to take the right amount of fuel.
He didn't pit when he was supposed to. He missed the pit on the second stint. So that's what happened there. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's racing. You got to do everything perfect to pull off the win, and you did what you needed to tonight. So congratulations. You looking forward to Interlagos?
Yeah. Again, like I said last week, I'm decent at Interlagos, so another track to look forward to. And I'm just gonna try and guess your next question here. The rain is only like 20% chance, so I honestly don't expect it. So should be a decent race for me.
Well, Interlagos. I'm kind of surprised it would only be 20%. I mean, historically, I can think of a lot of F1 races with rain in Interlagos.
And WEC, yeah, that place too.
Yeah.
But at least it was 20% last time I checked. Maybe when Carl puts it up again, it'll change. But I expect it to be dry. That's just me though.
Well, congratulations for tonight. Anyone you want to give a shout out to on that 35 machine?
James Pierce. That was his win. I didn't even deserve that whatsoever. and Tyler Kokeko finishing literally like podium like fucking every. Oops, sorry for this way. For every race, I think.
It's past 30
Uh,
seconds in. I think that's a thing. I might need to ask Jimmy about that.
Yeah. And shout out to and shout out again. I think I did this 2 weeks ago or something, but shout out to Bramble. He's been improving a lot, like a lot. And
Well, as I say,
lastly,
it's an
shout
all
out
2-1-2
to
paint job field now.
Yes, it is, and I'm very happy to see that personally.
I mean, I guess that's what happens when you run Carl and Jimmy out of.
Apparently, honestly, who'd have thought?
They've got another broadcast they're doing, so
Yeah, they're busy.
it is what it is. But again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll catch you in the winner's circle next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Bro. All right, well, that was Circuit de Spa Francorchamps for you. We had some good racing tonight, definitely in the GT3 class. LMP2s. Looks like some of the guys had some trouble with that I saw, and then Powell catching the back of Tyler there. But for everybody here from Cord, y'all have a wonderful night, and we will catch you next week at Interlagos. Yeah.